Welcome back to Breakfast Television, and I'm sitting on the couch this morning about a taboo subject that got really heated in our office yesterday. So
Always.
if you're an advocate for co-sleeping, as I am, chances are you've been frowned upon, you've been judged, you've been even, you know, exposed as being a bad parent, okay? Anywho, so I'm here this morning with certified pediatric sleep consultant Tracy Bronstein. You're here to tell us about the do's, the don'ts, the rights, the wrongs.
Right.
When we're talking about co-sleeping here, we're talking about kids actually sleeping in your bed, not just sleeping in your room.
Right. So let's kind of first, differentiate what that means. So co-sleeping, when you say co-sleeping, many people assume it's in your bed. Mm-hmm. When in fact, co-sleeping technically means, room sharing. So there's a difference between room sharing, which is actually recommended for infants, for the first 4 to 6 months of life.
But in their own bassinet.
But in their own space. Yeah. So in a crib in the room or a bassinet within arm's reach of mom. Mm-hmm. But bed sharing is what we're talking about when we talk about co-sleeping. Right?
And a lot of parents do it.
A lot of parents do it.
A lot of parents do it. Okay.
She's stressing.
Okay, so you know what it is? I've done it.
Yep.
I still sometimes do it.
Yep.
And why do you think why do parents do it? Why?
Well, number one,
I know why I do, but why do parents do it?
That's where it becomes controversial because some people do it out of choice. Mm-hmm. It's an elective decision. Yeah. And then other people do it out of mere survival. It's the only way that everybody's going to get some sleep. Okay. So, that's where it's, opinions vary. And also it's easier. It facilitates, mom's breastfeeding instead of getting up all night, walking down the hall or whatever.
And that's when it started for me. It started with, okay, so my husband would bring my son to me in the bed, and we'd end up falling asleep because I was breastfeeding in the bed, and then I would just fall asleep.
Right.
That didn't continue. I don't want people to think that continued for 8 or 10 years, but there are times where, whether it's they had a nightmare, they come to my bed, or whether we decided to watch a show together, we just end up falling asleep in the same bed.
Right.
I'm assuming that when they are 17 years old with their girlfriend, they're not going to be in my bed.
Let's hope so.
Right?
Right.
So
that might get a little awkward.
What age is it awkward?
Yeah, that is awkward.
If you have a 17, no.
You know what? Awkward is subjective too, right? So, the main thing that you always want to look at is everybody well rested? Now, of course, when we're talking about infants, there's the whole safety issue that I know we'll kind of touch on, but then it's a personal choice. If everybody's really well rested, getting nice consolidated night's sleep, everybody's functioning at their A game, there's no security issues, so your kids can go to a friend's and sleep over. They can sleep independently. If as a family you choose to occasionally share the bed with older children, then that's your choice.
Exactly. So if there's if it becomes an attachment issue, then you're doing something wrong.
Right. Well, then we're depriving the child then of the gift of being able to be an independent sleeper.
Exactly. You don't want to tuck everybody in at the same time in the bed.
Right.
And
then you have to look at the marriage too, right?
Exactly.
So a healthy, adult relationship
means no kids in the bed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I want to touch on, obviously we're talking about safety issue for people who are putting their infants, we're talking about 0 to even 2 months old in the bed. There's a chance and there's a risk of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome.
Yes, so we know and research has shown that bed sharing, specifically with infants under 4 months of age, which is actually when most people do it because that's when you're most tired, does increase the risk of SIDS and asphyxiation or suffocation. So I never recommend it. I always recommend for those first early months room sharing, not bed sharing. I know people are still going to do it, so if you are going to do it, please don't, but if you are, do it safely. So make sure there's just one adult, with the mother or the caregiver in the bed. Ideally, a mattress flat on the floor without headboard. No bedding, so no pillows, no blankets.
Just the warm pajamas.
Just, baby in his swaddle or sleep sack, just mom. But bed sharing, co-sleeping in a crib in their own space
is the safest
best way to go.
I agree with that, and I also agree with making sure the kids don't become attached. If you can't go to sleep without your kids in the bed and vice versa, it does become an issue. I agree with that, definitely. Yes. Tracy Bronstein, certified pediatric sleep consultant. Yes. Thank you so much. We could have talked about this for so long. Thank you for being with us. Stay tuned. More Breakfast Television coming up right after the break.